Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome back to the Pageant Sit Down. It is episode 82, and we have an amazing guest from the other side of the pond, as they like to say. But I'm your host, Regina Lena, and I am excited to have all of you here with us. It's been a while, 2 weeks to be exact, but we are excited to have you. And when I say we, I mean we and my co-host, Elizabeth. Hey, Liz.
Hey, Jean. How are you doing tonight?
Is it night already?
I guess it's kind of light outside. 5:30? I don't know.
Well, I guess I'm good. Sorry. But I was going to say, I guess based on where our guest is,
right?
It is night, right?
Yeah. Accommodating for the UK.
Exactly.
Well, I'm excited to introduce our guest. Speaking of her, she is the lovely Grace Smithen, the current Miss Elegance of the World UK. Welcome.
Hi everyone, and thanks for having me on here.
Well, thanks for joining us. First off, what time is it in the UK right now?
It's 10:34 p.m. So it's quite dark here. It's quite late at night.
Mm-hmm. As you can see, it's spread out compared to Liz's background.
Yes.
Well, Grace, we have been speaking for the past couple of weeks now, but I'm sure there are a lot of people who are tuned in who are curious to know who you are. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Grace. I'm 31 years old. I am a trained professional dancer. So I have spent my career traveling the world, dancing, doing some modeling and acting work as well. And currently I'm also in training with the London Ambulance Service to become an emergency ambulance crew as well. Wow. So a few different careers as well. And obviously I am the reigning Miss Elegance of the World UK.
That is okay. How do you fit all of that into one person?
You don't sleep much. And you just work 6 days a week most of the time. But yeah, like I love my jobs. Like I love dancing. I've danced my whole life, and I love pageantry alongside it. And to me, pageantry is it's such my passion. Like I finish work and I get home and then I want to do pageant stuff, and I want to keep active with it. And even with training in the London Ambulance Service, I'm doing all my pageant stuff nearly every night. I want to do something because I just love it so much.
That's awesome. Really quickly, in the chats right now, we have Miss Elegance of the World pageant here saying we're looking forward to seeing it. Proud of our beautiful UK Miss Elegance of the World, Grace. #Queen.
Love that.
Oh, that would be the director of Miss Elegance of the World, Anthony. He'll be watching. Hi, Anthony.
Hi.
Oh, that's so exciting. I guess kind of speaking of the pageant, do you want to give us a bit of a description of what Miss Elegance of the World is for people who may not be familiar with it?
Yeah, so it is a live pageant system. So it is competed in Blackpool in the UK. And it is the live finals. So we have all different rounds, like opening round, interview, you have appearances count as well. So in the lead up, you do as many appearances as you can. Fundraising counts, and there's evening round as well. And then the winners, so there's a UK winner, which is me, and then we also have an international winner who's a girl called Sandra from Ireland. And we will both be actually flying out this July to Florida in America to compete in Miss Global United States. So she'll be competing in, I think it's a separate section to me, and I'll be in the Miss category representing the UK.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's really nice that you get to not only win in the UK, but you get to go out and compete internationally, which is really amazing, because obviously it's quite big for some pageant systems to do that. So Miss Elegance is like one of the ones that sends people out internationally. And then when I come back from internationals, the finals of Miss Elegance of the World will be 2 weeks later, where we'll be going and helping judge and crown the next successors who will be taking our titles, and then they'll go the following year to compete in Miss Global.
Wow.
That's exciting. Yeah, I'm just like, that's so fun. So you mentioned that you enjoy doing pageant stuff after work, but how long have you been in the pageant world for?
So I'm trying to think of age now. I'm 31 now. So I think when I was around 24, so like 7 years ago, I had a friend who won Miss Australia when I used to live and work out in Australia, and she told me about the pageant world. And I was really not familiar with it at all. I was like, wait, Miss Congeniality? What is this? Um, and she just told me about it. So when I came back to England, I looked up Miss England, and I thought, why not? So I entered Miss England as my first ever pageant, not having a clue what I was doing. I went in completely oblivious. I didn't know what I was signing myself up for. I didn't do it good enough at all. So I was Miss Kingston upon Thames in 2017 for Miss England system. Obviously, I didn't win it because I didn't really get what I was doing. But I learned a lot through doing that. Like I met loads of pageant girls that are lovely. I got introduced to the world of pageantry and actually how you're supposed to do it and what you're supposed to do. And then after that, I took a break for like just over a year. And then in 2019, I entered Miss Elegance of the World as my next pageant. And I started campaigning for Miss Elegance of the World. And my campaigning went on longer than planned, as obviously COVID happened, which extended it. The live finals got delayed as we didn't know when we were going to come out of lockdown. And then actually they ended up going virtual in the end, which was quite interesting because we had to film our catwalks. So all our catwalks were filmed. And then the questions were sent to us and we had to pre-record us doing our interview questions. So that was really different because we didn't get to have a live finals. And then what happened is it went on like a live, video came out. So you had to wait for it. And then you watched every girl's catwalks and categories and that. And then at the very end, they announced the winners, which was me and the international winner. So yeah, that's how Miss Elegance happened. So it's been a journey really to get to where I got to, and I learned a lot along the way.
Yeah.
You must be really excited to go back on stage in person internationally.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I feel like I need to be more prepared because it was all confusing whether we were going this year because of COVID, because of being able to fly, and then because of my job in the ambulance service, I was all confused whether I'd even be able to go this year. And it was only, we only found out I could go a couple of weeks ago. So I've now, the next day, got into a dress shop and was like, right, we're designing a dress today. And I've still got to sort out my other rounds, but I'm preparing mentally as well to go in and be back on the stage. Like, it's going to be amazing to just be able to actually walk on stage again and like actually represent, and it would be amazing to represent like the UK in it as well.
That's gonna be really fun. I think it's super cool how they did the virtual, because I know a lot of people have done virtual pageants during the COVID pandemic, but they've done like Zoom interviews, kind of like what we're doing right now, or they've done like live stream stuff. So that was really interesting. Was that kind of a hard experience? Was it difficult to get the videos together if you're not like on stage?
It was very funny. I'm very fortunate that my best friends are amazing. So my best friends, Emma and Matt, I was in panic mode about how am I going to do this? And they were like, you sort your dresses and you out, we'll sort the rest. And they sorted out like a hall for us to go into. My friends, they put up sheets behind me. We made a fake backdrop. Like my mate turned up with his camera, and like I bought some lights, and we just made a fake studio ourselves.
Wow.
And we just recorded me doing it. And luckily, my best friend Matt, he does loads of video editing because he's like self-taught video editor. So he helped me loads, and Emma helped do it all. And genuinely, if they hadn't helped me, it would have been me in my living room with my dog next to me trying to catwalk around.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a different experience having to do it where you couldn't go and do a live finals, but it was still fun. I had a great time, and it was nice, but like it will be nice to be able to do a live one again.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Hmm. Yeah, I was lucky enough that I got to do a live competition back in November, and it felt so good to be back on stage. So I'm wishing you all the best, and it's going to be a really fun time, I'm sure. Have you been able to travel internationally before for pageants, or has it been exclusively kind of in the UK?
No, I've only ever done UK pageants, so this is my first time. I've
Mhm.
traveled for work a lot in the dance industry, but I've never experienced a different kind of pageant system. And like already with the preparation, I can see it's different in so many ways. Like for us over here, appearances are a really big deal. So we do so much in the lead up to do with appearances, whereas like in Miss Global, it's more about when you're there and like how
Mm.
you present yourself when you're there. So it's going to be a very different experience to what I'm used to. But I am excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
Well, we're excited to watch your journey and see where it takes you.
Mhm.
You mentioned dance. What kind of dance do you do?
And so I do quite a lot of different styles actually. So when I was younger, I was really into like ballet for a while. And then I went through a period where I was like ballroom and Latin American, and I used to compete for the UK and do loads of competitions. And then as I went into teenage years, I became more of a contemporary dancer. And then I kind of branched out a bit more. So I've done lots of different jobs. So like I've gone from one extreme, like I did Bollywood in India. So I did like music
Wow.
videos and films out in India. Um, and then I've also done like contemporary music videos. And then the last few years, I was working in a show team on a UK holiday park and doing like shows every night for them. So the thing is with the dance industry is it really changes, and it's really impacted with actually what's going on in the world at the time, and cultural like things impact it so massively. So like when I was training, tap was huge, and I was really into tap dancing, and one of my first ever jobs was in America tap dancing, actually in New York. um,
Wow.
and then tap dancing now is it's dying out. It's not a big dance form anymore, whereas it's more commercial now, and more hip hop is more so you kind of have to keep adapting the styles you can do. Like I've also trained in, do you know aerial silks? So like from the
Hmm.
ceiling.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I've done training in that, but I've never actually worked in it because I've always ended up getting other jobs and going off. But I'd like to do that
Mm,
one day. It's on my bucket list of dance jobs to just get an aerial silk job.
that's
Mhm.
awesome. Really quickly before we move on with all of the questions, we do have some comments from YouTube. So first up is Ashley Vella. She sends a heart emoji. And we have Janice McGregor. She says your friends are amazing when you were talking about them helping you with the
Mhm.
videos. And she also says, P.S. Love the throne photo.
Yes,
Oh,
that was such a cool photo.
oh,
Mhm.
thank you.
So, to all of you who are tuning in, if you have any questions for Grace, be sure to leave them in the live chat and we'll be more than happy to ask her.
Mhm. I was going to ask you, I'm super interested in the whole like appearance part that you were talking about, because I know with certain pageants here in Canada, appearances are important as well. Can you tell us maybe some of your favorite appearances, or if there's like an organization you work with frequently?
Yeah, so I did quite a lot of appearances I got really appearance focused because it was quite big for my pageant system.
Mhm.
So there was loads of different things I did. Like I actually organised and ran the virtual heat for Miss Elegance of the World. So this would be obviously before I won my title. I had the idea because Miss Elegance of the World didn't have a virtual heat. So I took it to the director and was like, why don't we have one? Like, I think it's a really good idea. Like, I'd love to do it. And then bring more girls in, and also like open it up so that it could be opened up in that way. So I organised and ran the first ever virtual heat for Miss Elegance of the World, which is now an ongoing thing that they're doing. Um, and then I also ran loads of like charity related ones. So my chosen charity is Cancer Research UK. So I lost someone in my life in 2019, which is what actually encouraged me to go for Miss Elegance of the World, because their chosen charity is Cancer Research UK. So I thought it was quite important to me. So I really focused on fundraising for them. And I did it in loads of different ways. So I did things like I did loads of raffles, and like I did like online raffles and in-person raffles at work. I also did face painting. So I had a friend who helped me get better at face painting, and as part of my job, I would face paint children, and it like charge a little bit of money for Cancer Research UK. And then I also did, so I've got notes on all this, because I always forget things that I did. So I ran my very own puppy pageant at one point, because I love my dog. I have a little Pomeranian called Miko, and he's literally the light of my life. I love him. And he inspired me to run my very own. This was during COVID, actually, where people submitted photos and made like a small donation. And then I got the dog school that my dog was going to actually judge it. And then I got sashes for the dogs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then everyone like sent, the winners all sent in their pictures. And then like, you know, there was like runners up and they got certificates. And so I ran all that kind of thing as well. And then I just did loads of other bits, like me and my friend, Matt, we climbed Snowdon together, and we raised money to climb. That's in North Wales. I don't know if you're familiar with it. So it's like a mount. Sorry, I said it like you would be, and then I just
we're like, yeah,
but you're not quite local to me, are you? So that's in North Wales. It's like a mountain. So we went and we did Mount Snowdon, and that video is actually coming out soon of us trailing up this mountain, laughing and then moaning about trailing up a mountain for part of it. So yeah, and then like I basically, for like the year and a bit of campaigning, my sash that I had, my finalist one, basically lived on me at all moments. And if anything ever came up, like because I travel a lot, but also because I'm from London, every time I went back to London, there's always something going on in London. Like, have you guys ever been?
No, but I want to.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, come out to London. It's great. I'll show you around. There's so much going on at all times. So I was just always had my sash on me. And if I was in London, I could see things going on and I could go and get involved in it. And anything to do with charity work. Like I helped raise money with my old job for the Royal National Lifeboat Association. So they are the people that basically, it's all volunteers, and if anyone's taken out to sea, they're called out straight away and they go out to rescue people, and they rescue hundreds of people like weekly. It's actually crazy how many people they rescue in England, because people go out and we have a really strong undercurrent. And they're all volunteers that work for them, so they need like money raised for their equipment. So with my work, we helped raise money for them as well. So I tried to get involved in like other charities that were like local to me and things. So I really focused on appearances through the whole time, even in the pandemic, which was tough. But yeah, there was lots to do online. Like I did loads of online raffles and things, and little videos and everything.
That's amazing. All this while you're also studying too as well.
Super impressive. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, amazing. So it can be a lot, but I do love it.
Yeah. I have a social media question here for you. What category is your favorite to compete in? So you mentioned they're a little bit different in the UK. So what is your favorite category of competition?
So my favorite one that actually was in Miss Elegance the World. I don't know if every other system has it. I think everyone has quite a similar one. So it was a one where it was about representing where you're from. So like some rounds, some pageants, I think it's their eco round. Like I think it can be a bit different depending on
national
the pageant.
costume.
Yeah. So I represented obviously London in it because I'm from London, and like the UK as well. So I got like my own. I bought a dress that was just plain, and it was like 50s style. And then I went around London and I actually bought tea towels that had pictures of London all over it. I like cut them up, I sewed them on the dress. I then like bought felt and I like made badges of like the UK flag.
Love that.
And I just ended up doing this makeshift, like cutting things up, sticking it on. and like designing. Like I loved the fact that I could design my own dress, and like my mum is really into artsy stuff, so she was really on board with this. So I was at home, I was like going home, and she was had the dress out, and she was like helping me, and I loved doing that, like the making it as well as getting to wear it. Like when I wore it, I was quite proud because I'd made it and designed it myself. So like even the pictures in that dress, I think are my favorite pictures from the pageant, because I was like, I'm proud of, like, I've got tea towel bits stuck on a dress, but it looks good, I promise.
Tea towels is so UK. Like when I think UK, like that's what I think of.
Do you not have them?
We do, but they're not as significant. Like no, they're just kind of there.
Oh really? We have like all designs of them. You could get a tea towel for everywhere you ever go.
That's awesome. That's a cool idea.
You know what I thought of? So Elizabeth and I are both huge fans of RuPaul's Drag Race, and so when you're talking about so we're thinking of like UK versus the world right now, and you know how like they do hometown outfits.
Yeah,
that's what I thought of.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes, I went and saw their show Death Drop like a week ago.
No way.
That's so awesome. Like they have a lot of shows in the UK.
Yeah, they do. It's like just come over here, and I literally, as soon as I found out, I was like, right, I've got to go see it. It had Juju in it. Like I was like, I've got to see it.
Oh my god, I love Juju.
Wow, that's awesome. We love that.
We can talk about Drag Race for as long as we can, but we're here with you, Grace. And speaking of, there are a few more comments in the chat. So starting with Miss Elegance of the World, they say, really proud of our Miss Elegance of the World UK, Queen Grace, amazing interview. Our reigning Miss Elegance of the World UK, Queen Grace Smithen, is a true role model and a great inspiration to all of us.
Aww.
And Mary Mullally, I hope I said that correctly, says, super proud of my sister queen. You are a true role model. Amazing interview. Heart emoji.
Aw, thanks guys.
You have some fans.
Yeah, watching. Yeah, so Mary's one of our finalists actually for the finals of Miss Elegance of the World. She's running internationally. And so she'll be competing in July with all the other girls that are going to all come over. So I'm really excited for that. So so one of the things I've actually been doing, which I thought I'd mention, is I run my own, like, not as big as this, but my own like little pageant interviews as well. So I have my own platform. It raises money for Cancer Research UK. So all the girls do a donation to just come on and have an interview to talk about their platforms and like their charities that they raise money for and things. So I launched that in January this year. And that's called Graceful Pageant Interviews, and it's just like a small one on Instagram, where lots of different pageant finalists can come on, and it's really like a lot of finalists are coming on to just talk about their lead up to the finals. And that just reminded me, because I was doing that earlier on as well. So I had some loads of finalists on there for like pageants that are coming up in the next couple of weeks.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So is pageantry? Question: is pageantry big in the UK?
Do you know, it's not as big as in America, and it's really like, I always find it's quite strange, because once you get into the pageant world, you get to know so many people, and like you see a lot of this, like kind of the same faces. A lot of people are really involved in things, and there's a lot of people that don't know about pageantry. So when I meet new people and make new friends, if I tell them I'm in pageantry, a lot of them are like, what, like what's that? Isn't that like American? Like they don't really see it as a UK thing. But then the people that are involved in the pageant world are really involved in it. They really know about it. It's really, from what I've gathered, obviously I don't live in America, but what I've gathered, it is really different. We definitely don't have as many pageants as like America has at all. Like we have not as many big ones either. I think there's only a few that actually where the girls go out internationally to compete. Well, I think we do a lot more charity pageants. So there's a lot of like smaller, all the money goes to charity kind of pageants rather than big ones. So when you see the big ones, that's why you see a lot of the same girls, because they're the bigger pageants, and you've got to compete more than once normally to win a title, so you've got to get more involved and learn what you're doing.
That makes sense, because like if you think about it, the girls from the UK we know, Liz, they've been doing the same systems, or they all know each other, and I feel like pageant land is very close knit in the UK.
Yeah,
It sounds
it really
very similar.
is.
Yeah, it sounds very similar to Canada. Like, of course, we're super close to the US, but it's still a very different world over here in terms of pageants. And it seems like one big community here. We all kind of know each other. So it's cool, though, because whenever I go to the States, you're right, it's huge. There's a lot of people with different kinds of pageants and levels. And anyway, it's really fun to compete in the States. So I'm excited that you're going to have that opportunity, because it's really cool.
I'm excited. I feel like I need to be more prepared. Like, I think I just need to sit and watch videos and research 10,000 times more, because I feel like I half don't know what I'm getting myself into, because I've only seen UK. So in my head, I feel like it's more going to be like UK, and I know it's not in any way. Like,
it's UK versus the world.
Yeah, it's going to be so much bigger, and I'm so excited for it. I just need to get more prepared mentally, and like watch everything I can. Yeah, and I watch Miss Congeniality 10 times, and that will help.
I think you're gonna do amazing, and you do have like a huge heart, like everyone says. Back in the chats, actually, Mel Jade says, "Proud of you, Grace. Great interview." And Melissa Gregory, she gives you lots of love from Canada. So you're going to do amazing. But actually, there is a segment on our show. We are at the halfway point already, which is 5 tips from a beauty queen. And so, Grace, for all those who are tuned in, what would be your 5 tips?
Okay. So sorry if I look down at moments to remind myself. So my first one is the most important one, which is you have to be yourself. You can't go in faking it, trying to be something you're not. You have to be yourself, especially in the interview rounds, because the judges want to see your personality. So that's really important, that just the whole way through, just show off who you are every step of the way. The second one, this is mainly more for like more UK or maybe Canadian, which is with appearances. Just get involved in as much as you can, and do as much as you can, because also you don't realize how much you can network just through one simple appearance. You can go to one thing and meet so many different people that you can network with in the pageant industry, and that can open doors and opportunities for you to like promote all of your platforms and everything. So appearances are just important to just get involved as much as you can. The third one, which is hilarious, because I'm saying I'm not the best planner, but is to try and plan ahead and make sure that you do know what you want to say, what you want to do, like especially with appearances. Make sure you've planned ahead, like your next 10 appearances, you know what you're doing and where, because otherwise before you know it, you haven't done any in ages. So you want to just keep going with them. Like I always try and do like a monthly plan in mine, and know roughly at least I have a few every week to keep myself on schedule. The next one is to do with charity work. So my fourth one is with your chosen charity. Just try and think of different things you can do. Look at what other people do and try and think outside the box. There's so many ways to raise money, even through like social media platforms, and so many different ways that you can just help raise money. And you can just get involved as well in like different areas to do with like the world, and the way your charity can interlink with them. Like how I did a puppy pageant just randomly, but I raised hundreds of pounds through that. So anything's possible when you just think of it, like, and just be like, do you know what, I'm going to do it, and it will raise money, and it probably will. And my last one, obviously it could be more UK, because we said USA is quite a lot bigger, but especially for the UK girls, get involved in the pageant world, follow other girls' social media, see what they're up to. They'll probably be holding campaigns you can get involved in, and other pageant girls love pageant girls reaching out and getting involved in all their campaigns, because we want each other's support. We want to be there for each other and help each other. So just get involved in the pageant world as much as you can, and reach out to as many girls as you can, because everyone will be so lovely and helpful, I promise. That's it. That's my 5.
And those are 5 amazing tips. It's interesting. You're like, I don't know what I'm going to say. And you killed it.
Yeah. I love that last one in particular. I think sometimes people underestimate it. Everyone thinks that they're like against everybody, but it really is like a team and people want to help each other. So yeah, I love that one. I feel like we haven't heard that one too many times either. So that's cool.
Oh, really? That's good.
But it's true that you say that, because now that I think about it as you're talking, some of our UK Queen friends have also been sharing a lot. Like, for example, Danny Latimer, she's like, oh, I'm hosting a Earth Day cleanup. Who wants to take part and join me? And so I'm like, I'll join you, even though we're on opposite ends of the world. So it's true. You all are very welcoming and include all of us all over the world. It's great.
Yeah, like with campaigns where you always want as many people to get involved as possible. And like, I always see so many girls like that post out, like, I'm doing the campaign, like, who wants to get involved? And as many as I can, I'm like, I'll get involved, because it's good for them. Like, and it's so nice because you just get to meet other pageant girls and you really feel you support each other. Like, I'm actually going to support a couple of girls that I've met through charity appearances in the Miss Atlantic finals this weekend.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I went to one of the Mrs. Atlantic posted out saying she was doing like a charity walk. Who wanted to get involved? So I was like, me, I don't know anyone, but I'll come along. And then I went, I met all these other girls from Pageant Systems that I'm now made friends with, and like got involved in each other's campaigns. And then, yeah, and now I'm going to the finals to support and watch all the girls in Miss Atlantic. So it's funny how getting involved in one campaign can branch you out so much.
Yeah.
100%.
I have some more questions here we can go through. What are your thoughts on virtual pageants, and will we see them continue in the future, do you think? So I guess this is kind of a good question for you.
So it all depends what kind of virtual pageants, because obviously like Miss Elegance went virtual, but it won't go virtual again unless there was another major pandemic, which hopefully won't ever happen. But I quite like the smaller ones that are virtual. Like, I think they can be quite nice, because then you can get people from all over the UK, or if it goes internationally and they open it up, you can get people from everywhere that enters, which is quite nice. So I do quite like them. Like, I haven't actually been in any other than like charity ones and things, and I've judged a few like charity virtual ones. I've like judged a few children's ones as well, but they were all virtual, and they were quite nice because as a judge, it was quite nice that I could do it at the end of my normal day. I didn't have to travel, try and get somewhere in the country, and I got the videos through, and I could sit and take my time, and I could rewatch interviews as well, which was quite nice. So I could really, it wasn't just like I had 2 minutes to judge someone. I could rewatch everything. So from that point of view, I thought it was quite good. I think they'll continue personally. I think it's opened up such a huge like platform for even more pageants and more competitions, and I think they'll definitely continue.
For sure. I think you're right. I think having that ability to reach more people, and it's cheaper.
I was thinking that as well. I was thinking it's a smart way of running one.
Because people want to do it. People have the time to do it, whether we're in a pandemic or not. And we could see, like, for example, Mystery Gold World was also international as well as virtual, and it's the second year now, and it's still going strong. So anything's possible.
Speaking of international stuff, how are you excited about going to internationals? What is something that you're most looking forward to when you get to the US?
I'm excited to be in Florida. Is it bad to say outside of the pageant, I'm excited to try and run to Disneyland at some point, or Disney World if I can?
You have to do it.
That is not an issue. Yeah, that is a must.
Yeah, like they said, I'm like 15 minutes away from it, and apparently they're like, I'm only there for the 5 days of the pageant, but they said that some days we're only going to be in like the morning, and then we might be kind of gone in the afternoon. And I'm like, if I'm gone, I'm going to get straight there somehow by a taxi, and I'm going to pay however much I've got to pay on the door, and I'm going to run around Disney World, or even on my own. I don't mind. because I've never been to Florida, and that really excites me. Obviously, I'm excited to Miss Global as well, and to be in a completely different pageant atmosphere. Like I know that they practice like the walks and things, and we don't do that, so there's all different things to look forward to with that, which is just going to be so interesting and so different. But I can't wait for sunshine. Just saying.
Oh yeah, you're in the UK, isn't it? Like rainy all the time and grey.
Yeah, it's crazy. The other day, we literally had like hailstones with sunshine out, and then rain, and then it started snowing. And I was like, I was literally like in work, and we were like went outside, and we were like, it's snowing. Oh no, and now it's sunny. No, it's snowing again. It's insane.
So strange. Yeah,
gotta love it.
Crazy. There's something going on in the world, because it's kind of not similar, but like we had snow the other day. I don't know if you have that, Regine, but I'm hours away from it. And then rain, and then it's super hot. I don't know what to wear ever, so I just walk outside and hope for the best that I'm wearing the right things.
See, in Canada, don't you get quite a lot of snow?
Yeah,
we do, but we're currently in
right now, though.
Yeah, we're in spring, so it's like a transitional season from winter to summer. So we get random days of snow, random days of heat. Like today it's sunny, as you can see in Liz's background. But like she mentioned, it was snowing out of nowhere after like weeks straight of warm. So
yeah,
it's weird. So funny. I always imagine Canada is like really snow covered. Everyone's like ice skating on frozen lakes. Is it like that?
Have you been? No,
I've never been. Like, this is just my dream of it. I want to come out and just like ice skate around, and I'm gonna have to come in winter.
You have to come in winter to do that. Yeah.
I say come in like February. Oh yeah, guaranteed snow. Yeah,
because it can get quite hot here. It can get like 30 to like 35, like in the summer if it's really hot. Like, yeah.
Wow. So you get the best of both worlds then.
We get all four seasons in its truest form, I think.
Oh, that's lovely. We don't. We get a lot of rain.
Yeah.
I used to work for a company that was owned by a UK company, and so all of our management was from the UK. So whenever we complain about it being raining outside, they'll be like, "That's nothing."
Yeah, it rains here all the time, like nearly every day.
So I'm curious, going back into your pageant prep really quickly. So you mentioned you're preparing for a whole new type of system. What have you been doing to prepare yourself for it?
Well, to be honest, I only found out a couple of weeks ago I was actually going this year. So it's been very sudden that I am actually going this year. So like straight away was going and sorting out my evening gown. That was my first thing, to go and get that made. And it hasn't come back yet. So I've designed it around like a basic one I was wearing, and I chose a completely different color to what was on me. And like, I'm hoping it comes out looking lovely, and it should be in the next few weeks for any alterations and things, and giving me a time that if I don't like it, I can try and get another one. So mainly I've just been sorting out my outfits. Like, we've got a bikini round, so I've been looking at bikinis for that, and I've got like 20 in my basket in different websites, and I haven't chosen yet, but I will do. And then I've got one other round to choose, which is like my opening/interview round. So I'm trying to, mainly at the minute, it's all focusing on the different outfits. And then like yesterday we found out that there's like a white party we need a white outfit for, and then there's also this, I think it's a round where you have to go and do like a fake commercial or something, which sounds interesting, different. I wasn't expecting it, so that was yesterday. So I haven't panicked yet about that one yet. I'm going to wait till the weekend when I'm off work. In between my exams I have next week, and all my revision for that, and start figuring it out, because obviously I'm in like a massive exam period at the minute with the ambulance service. So that's all up, and literally I'm doing that up until I go to America basically. So I'm just trying to fit in figuring out outfits and things in between that.
That's so fun.
Cool. I love, like, I don't know if they call it actress, but like that's the commercials and stuff and some of the pageants that I've been in. It's so fun. I hope you really because I like it because it kind of shows your personality, but and your brain and all the things. It's kind of surprising how much you have to prepare for that, but it's definitely a fun one.
Yeah, I'm gonna start thinking about that and probably like see if I can watch some videos and get some ideas because I didn't even know that was a thing. I'd never heard of that before. So that's come out of nowhere for me, and I'm like, oh, okay, right. So I'm gonna start prepping for that very soon.
Yeah, that's awesome. There's another one here. If you were to win the title in internationals, what would you do with your year? So what would you do with your year in terms of service or projects you want to work on?
So I would still keep my fundraising for Cancer Research UK because that's my chosen charity and that's really important to me. So I would keep doing that. Obviously, I'd be going to all my appearances that like I do to do with Miss Global, which would be interesting because I think some of them would be in America as well. So I'd probably have to go back and forth a bit, which would be fun, which would be amazing. Who doesn't love traveling as well? But I would want to get more involved in like campaigning and different campaigns. And also I would keep going with my interview platform that I'm doing as well, because I do love that. Like I'm meeting so many pageant girls through that. So I'd still want to keep doing that one.
That's exciting. So speaking of your podcast, if people wanted to join or be interviewed by you, how do they do so?
So sorry, I'm just charging one of my AirPods. It just died. So it's on Instagram. It's under Graceful Pageant Interviews. So they can just go on there. They can drop a message. I try and like every 1 or 2 weeks do an evening where I do loads of interviews and like they're all pre-recorded ones. So I'm always putting times out on there, but they can drop me like a message on that Instagram page to get involved. There's a Facebook page, it's the same thing, Graceful Pageant Interviews, and then they also go on my YouTube channel as well. So yeah, they can just drop me a message or keep an eye out on it because I'm always posting out times all the time, like this Sunday I'm doing interviews, who's available, and it's only a £2 donation to Cancer Research UK to get involved in that.
That's awesome. And is this open to international guests or just specifically UK?
Yeah, so it's open to everyone. I actually had a girl today, she was from Canada. Yeah, so I interviewed her at 9 o'clock my time. So it wasn't long before I came on with you guys. So yeah, it's open to anybody and anyone in pageantry really that wants to just come on and talk about their platforms.
That's awesome. Well, you potentially have a couple more guests sitting in front of you.
Hey. Yeah, always welcome.
I love that. Let's keep the Canada guests coming through.
Yeah.
Going back to the chats really quickly, Emma Haynes says, Grace, you're a great role model and an amazing friend. Love you.
That's the Emma I was talking about who helped me do all my recording for my the virtual finals.
I love that. It's always great when you have your support system. I have Team Regine and Elizabeth has the Marnaki. If you don't already have a name for your group, what would it be?
Oh,
that's hard.
That's a hard one. I'd have to think about it for ages. It took me ages to even name Graceful Pageant Interviews. That was like 4 months of thinking about it and renaming it like 20 times. And I was like, should I put my name in it? Is that too much? And then I was like, no, I'm not put my name in it.
Yeah. I mean, mine's as simple as Team Regine. Like, it's such a good name.
That rhymes. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Fun.
I got lucky. Yeah, my last name's kind of royal, so like it's Marnock, but you just put Marnocky on it, and it works. It's stuck for quite some years, so yeah.
You like it, Gracefuls?
Ooh. Yeah, the Gracefuls.
There you go. It sounds cool. Like a band.
They're gonna love it. I'll be like, I'm just naming you guys after me.
Hashtag Team Gracefuls or Gracefuls. I love it. Well, we're hoping that, your team of your gracefuls will continue to grow and follow you. But before we start to wrap things up, Grace, is there any last words you'd like to share with our viewers?
Well, mainly it would just be for anyone that's involved in pageantry. I'd just kind of voice again, just reach out to other pageant girls and really get involved. That's the main thing that I kind of want to come from this, because I've been doing that over the years, and honestly, the pageant world's amazing. Anyone thinking about going into it, it's amazing, and you build friendships that you'll have for your entire life, and everyone's so supportive of each other. So for anyone thinking about it, do it. Reach out to me, reach out to anyone, because anyone would help you get involved. And if you're already in the pageant world, start joining everyone's campaigns and just reaching out to pageant girls. So that's kind of my last message, I think.
Lovely. And where can people follow you if they want to follow your journey to the international pageant, to follow your Graceful pageant podcast, or to join the Gracefuls?
So my Instagram is grace.e.smithen. And then my interview platform is Graceful Pageant Interviews. So I mainly do it a lot through Instagram. So that's the best way to follow me on there and just follow my journey.
Perfect. And Liz, where can people follow you online?
For all my pageant related things, you can follow me on Elizabeth Marnock Pageantry on Instagram. And for my pageant hair and makeup stuff that I like to do that some of you guys might know about, it's Elizabeth Marnock Artistry. How about you, Regine?
You guys can follow me here on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe to this channel. We go live every other week, potentially every week coming soon. So make sure you subscribe. And if you enjoyed today's interview with Grace, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at It's Regina Lena. Or if you'd like to follow my journey to the International Galaxy Pageant, you can follow me at Mrs. Galaxy International. No. Wow, I gave myself a whole new title. Mrs. I got really confused there. Sorry, guys. Mrs. Galaxy Southern Canada 2022. I tried. I really tried. Oops. But Grace, thank you so much for joining us today. It has been a pleasure having you on here. Finally,
Yes,
for
so
those
excited.
who have noticed that your image had popped up on our Instagram once upon a time, I'm glad that we were able to get this. You know, the time zones are messed up.
Yeah,
so
and it
confusing.
changed again. Since last time that I tried to come on and I got the time zones wrong, it changed again because our clocks changed. So,
Oh my goodness.
I know, it's insane. But thank you so much for having me on here. It's been lovely.
We
It was so
enjoy
awesome.
having you.
Mhm.
And now we have someone who we could talk UK Drag Race with. So this is great.
Exactly.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Grace, again, thank you for being here with us. To all of those who are in the chat, thanks for all the questions and comments. And we will see you all in maybe 1 or 2 weeks. Stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram to find out. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.